Why play Urgot Top? Well, he is a strong ranged laner. His mid game with Black Cleaver is amazing, his execute guarantees kills, and he just deals tons of damage. However, he is very skill shot reliant, and he can get kited if he misses his E. Urgot's passive is each of his 6 legs have a shotgun. When he attacks from that angle, the attack deals additional damage in a cone, and each of his individual legs have their own cooldown. Urgot's Q throws out a circle on the floor, and after a short delay, it deals damage to enemies within and slows them. Urgot's W has a passive, where his other abilities mark enemy champions. The active causes him to start firing his machine gun for 4 seconds, where he always attacks 3 times a second. During this time, he becomes ghosted, gets slow resist, but his move speed is decreased. And at level 9, you can instead toggle this ability on and off for free. Urgot's E grants himself a shield, then after a short delay, he dashes in a direction. This deals damage to enemies he passes through, and if he hits an enemy champion, he stops upon hitting them, stunning them, and throwing them over his head. Urgot's ultimate is a long-range straight-line skill shot, which impales the first champion hit, dealing damage to them and slowing them. If the target drops below a quarter of their max health, this can be recast where Urgot pulls them into him. During this time, the target becomes suppressed and will be executed after 1.5 seconds. And when the target gets executed, nearby enemies are feared. For combos, turn on W, then engage with E, which guarantees landing your Q. Walk around your target with W turned on, detonating as many legs as possible using ult to execute if you can. Also, while doing this combo, instead of using Q after the flip, you can also use this to guarantee your ultimate instead. For matchups, Urgot is great into champions he can CC and force into longer fights, and he can struggle into champions who can kite him. For runes, take this. PTA makes you a beast at dueling. For build order, start Blade and Pot into a Black Cleaver and tier 2 boots. After this, Asterix and Jak'Sho's are great pickups before finishing a build with any of these as needed. For skill order, start E then W then Q before maxing W then E then Q, taking ult whenever you can. You can also put a couple more points in Q if you can easily poke your opponent. For summoner spells, take Flash and Teleport. From the very start of the game, you can bully your opponent. Your level 1 is incredibly strong, and if you land your E, you can basically guarantee that you're going to get a lot of your shotgun legs off. Each of your empowered shotgun attacks basically hit harder than most abilities at this point in the game. Outside of level 1, your main strength in lane comes from being ranged, so poke with Q when available and look to shotgun your opponent as often as possible. After this, Urgot really is a champion of power spikes. His level 6 ultimate is incredible at being able to 1v1 your opponent. It's just so much guaranteed single target damage if you get them below 25% health. Your next power spike is level 9 when your W becomes a toggled ability, and when you buy Black Cleaver, your W quickly shredding their armor makes you a beast. Entering the mid game, take your tower as soon as possible. From here, either split push for pressure or group with your team for fights and objectives. Entering late game team fights, play the front to back playstyle. Shoot anything in front of you, shredding their armor. From here, look for that first execute with your ultimate, as throwing that AoE fear across the entire team is incredibly strong and just wins fights. And that's how to play Urgot Top. If this video helped you, leave it a like and comment below who you want to see next.